Boker Tov Olami! I said Boker Tov Olami! I can't even begin to tell you what it means to be in this room with languages from around the world, with people from around the world, dedicated to taking on the mantle of leadership for the Jewish people as part of this incredible organization. Give it up for the amazing educators and organizers and people that made Olami possible. Now, at the end of the day, I think the message is so clear that they've given us such an incredible opportunity to be part of this legacy. But it's up to each and every one of us to bring that back to our communities. And I represent Mosaic United, which is a partnership between the Jewish people and Israel. Something that could have never been thought of before the incredible advancement of the state. And we connect together to think about one thing, to focus on every single one of you and the Jews around the world, to have a stronger connection to their Jewish identity, to have a stronger connection to Israel. Think about it. People that are living in Dimona, in Sderot, in Jerusalem, in Hebron, in Tiberias, taxpayers' money are partnering together to care not just about the streets and the education in Israel, but every single one of us around the world. And hopefully that gives you a sense of entitlement, empowerment, and understanding of what it means to be part of this incredible people. And I thought I'll share a very short story as we start this incredible day of an amazing individual called Yitzchak Perlman. And Yitzchak Perlman is a maestro. He's one of the greatest virtuosos of our time. He plays the violin incredibly and packs out auditoriums and opera houses around the world. And at the age of 4, he contracted polio. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to walk like all his friends and those around. So he wasn't able to go and play football and soccer like his friends in the playground. And he started to develop and said, what can I apply my abilities to, rather than focusing on my inabilities? And he discovered the violin and he discovered music. And he became absolutely incredible. And he dedicated his life to it. And so the story goes, on Yom HaAtzmaut, not too many years ago, he stood on an incredible amphitheater in an incredible building with a huge orchestra in Tel Aviv. And he gets up, he comes out on his crutches, and he puts his crutches on the side, and he picks up his violin, and he starts to tune the first string. And the whole orchestra tunes it with him. And he tunes the second string, and they tune it with him. And then the third string, with an audible crack, it snaps. And the conductor said, go change the violin, get another string. Everyone came to hear you. And therefore, it's okay. We'll wait 10 minutes, we'll change it. And he said no, and he starts tuning the fourth string. And he tunes that. And the conductor and him have a bit of a kerfuffle. He says, get off the stage. He says, no, I'm playing. And he stands up to play. Now, those of you that are musicians, a piano is 8 octaves. A guitar has 6 strings. A violin only has 4 strings. To play an entire concerto on 3 out of the 4 strings is extremely difficult. And so the story goes, he played it incredibly. And he played it one of the best it's ever been played on 3 strings alone with this entire orchestra. And everyone was engulfed by the emotion of the moment, standing there on Yom HaAtzmaut to think about what it means to have this music. This incredible man that contracted polio at the age of 4 and still managed to take himself and to do such incredible things in this world and be such an ambassador of our people. And as the music finished, with tears in their eyes, with a standing ovation, everyone clapped and clapped and kept going and going and going. And they signaled for him to speak. And he wouldn't speak. And they signaled again for him to speak. And he came forward and he said one sentence, which is one of the most powerful sentences I've ever heard. He said, life is the music we make with what remains. Life is the music we make with what remains. That was more than just a comment on a broken violin string. That was a comment on everything that was broken in his life and all of our lives. And you think about the fact that this man standing here, only 70 years prior, we stared eyeball to eyeball with the angel of death in Auschwitz, never even dreaming that we would have an orchestra, that we would have a stadium, that we would have more people learning today in Israel than ever before. To have an incredible, thriving state, to be connected with organizations like Olami, caring about Jews all around the world. And you think about what that means, to just with 3 strings play this incredible concerto. And the way I took the message is that every single one of us, thank God, have more than 3 strings. And the question is, how do we use it? How do we use the instrument of our lives to have the ability to respond, to have responsibility? How do we use the instrument of our lives to make an impact? We're coming here from Spain, as we just heard. In 1492, there was a terrible expulsion. And we have brought more Jews back than ever before at this moment to learn together, to grow together. And the question is, what is the impact, not just that Olami is having on us, but we are carrying forward to have on the rest of the world. And therefore, I invite every single one of you, as we start this incredible day of learning, of growing, to think about what is the music you make with what remains, because we have so much. We have so much to be proud of. We have so much to be part of. And every single one of us has that capacity. 2 weeks ago, I had the privilege of officiating at my brother's wedding on Yom Ha'atzmaut, a few years after this, to an incredible girl from Israel. He came from Australia, went to Duvdevan in the army. He plays international rugby for Israel, standing opposite an incredible girl from Tel Aviv that grew up she's doing a PhD in economics. And her grandfather fled the night before Kristallnacht. And they're staying in Australian and in Israeli with 500 people in Caesarea. This incredible picturesque moment. And that encapsulates the entire Jewish people. And therefore, as we move forward, I invite every single one of us to make that impact truly count, to connect to our Judaism, not just to go through life, but to grow through life, to find comfort outside of our comfort zone so we can truly do that. And as we move towards Shabbat, this incredible moment, introspect, think, why were you chosen to be here? What's the difference that you can make? I know that every single one of you are here for a reason. I know that every single one of us are here for a reason. And we need to truly make that count. Have an incredible day, and thank you so much.